Modeling abroad. Your goal should be to work abroad sooner or later. Although you already have many options at home and live in a large market for advertising and fashion, there are even bigger jobs and campaigns abroad. You are already familiar with the Big Four from the fashion weeks around the world: Paris, Milan, New York, and London. However, for models abroad, there are many more interesting markets. In Europe, for example, there are Istanbul, Athens, and Barcelona. In Asia, there are several well-known and emerging metropolises. As a model, you can work in Seoul, Tokyo, Hong Kong, or right next door in Shenzhen. The world is open to you as a model. Basics. The prerequisites are a good model book and good measurements. While the fashion metropolises of the Big Four rely more on classic model measurements, in cities like Barcelona, Athens, or Hong Kong, you also have chances with a few centimeters more or less. The sought-after types differ from country to country. In North America, classic models as well as sexy types are in demand. In Europe, classic models are also sought after, but a lot is produced through advertising with more everyday types. In Paris, London, and Milan, there are also good opportunities for new faces if girls have the perfect measurements and long hair. Boys are well received here when they still have a more childlike appearance, appearing more androgynous than masculine. In Asia, they look for less classic models and more cute, adorable, European types. Worldwide fees. There are extremely many jobs in the metropolises worldwide. The fees in the individual countries, as well as the commissions of the agencies, differ significantly. The best fees can naturally be found in American and European capitals such as New York, Paris, London, and Milan. Apart from the metropolises, there are big cities like Hamburg or Berlin, where you can earn well, as well as in Tokyo, Seoul, or Beijing. There is slightly less in southern European cities like Barcelona and Athens, or in Hong Kong and Shanghai. So, your goal as a model is to make it to the largest cities. Top fees. If you haven't had the question in your mind before, maybe you do now. How much does a successful model actually earn? As I said, at the beginning of your career, you will typically do small jobs for relatively small fees. Models who make it have the chance to earn incredible amounts of money. I can't give exact fees, of course, but I still want to give you an insight. In the major markets like the USA, France, Italy, Spain, Germany, the UK, and so on, you will receive fees for most photo shoots and shoots that are in the 4-digit range. Some may even fall into the 3-digit range, for example, for small labels that you find appealing. On the other hand, commercials quickly bring high 4-digit or even 5-digit amounts. This depends on how many production days there are, in how many countries the advertising is broadcast, and in which media. For a big commercial, such as for a luxury brand, it can already be 20 to 50,000 euros or US dollars. The limits are open upwards. Some achieve extreme success at a very young age, like supermodel Cara Delevingne or Beckham offspring Brooklyn Beckham. He received a whopping $57,000 for his first Burberry campaign at the age of 19. Now you might say, but they're famous. My new faces get the same fees for similar jobs, even without the fame of their family name. It's worth it to travel, step by step, Berlin, Milan, Paris, London, New York. Placement. At some point, your model agent or modeling agency will talk to you about the topic of going abroad and placement. Basically, there are two different forms of placement abroad. Direct booking. As described earlier, direct bookings are the most pleasant form of collaboration for you as a model. Your mother agency recommends you to their partner agencies, or one of the agencies would like to work with you. Through direct bookings, model agencies try to perfect their portfolios so that they have new interesting models for their clients. For high-paying jobs, it often no longer matters where you come from. Travel costs are covered across Europe and also worldwide. That's why agencies like to take on good models for direct bookings. You are then listed in the model board of one or more agencies, just like in your mother agency. Availability and option requests are then forwarded directly to your mother agency. Not much changes for you. All updates regarding measurements, images, and video materials are coordinated through your mother agency. With a bit of luck, you will quickly get your first bookings. Since these are direct, you won't need to go through castings beforehand, you will be booked directly and travel to the production location. However, it is much more profitable for you to be present at the location on stay. On stay. The ultimate discipline for models: get to know the world. During an on-stay, you will travel to a partner agency as a model for 60 to 90 days. At the beginning, you mainly live in model flats and go to many castings every day. If you decide to take this step, you already know that you want to fully focus on life as a model. An international stay must be planned in advance. The best time to start is at the end of school, before models begin their studies. For models, it's the ideal period for traveling. You are currently in the stage of never seen before and are at the peak of your life. If you seize the opportunity now, you can also make it as a model internationally. More on that later. Guarantee contract. Models who have made it far, had many clients, and have a fantastic book, will gradually receive their first guarantee contracts. Then you will receive a guaranteed minimum income from the agencies. They do this when you are such a good model that, in theory, you no longer need to go abroad. Or you are already traveling so much that other agencies have to convince you to come to them. Congratulations if you have made it this far. Eventually, you will only travel. Not for 60 to 90 days anymore, but for days and weeks, from country to country, from production to production. Because at some point, your network will have grown so much that your management will completely take over the management of your time. You will receive constant inquiries and have to plan your life and all trips precisely. Voila, you are an international model. On stay. Plan until Paris. The dream of many, working as a model in New York, Paris Co. But what happens before you fly abroad as a model? How long do you stay? What awaits you on the first day in cities like New York, Paris, Milan, London, Seoul, or Tokyo? Here's an insight into the life of an international model. Requirements. Let's recap. You want to become a model, you've submitted your model agency application, and you've practiced and trained for the first 1 or 2 years as a model. Eventually, you become so good, with your book filled with initial jobs from clients, that your agency suggests you work abroad as a model. This doesn't happen immediately because agencies have to pay for plane tickets and accommodation, apart from work hours. Every model abroad is also an investment for modeling agencies. That's why they first check if a model has the right mindset, you already have the right look. School also has a significant influence on the timing. Let's say you start as a model at 15 or 16 years old, then you still have a few years of school ahead of you. During that time, you can't simply work in Paris for 2 months. Summer vacations are not an option either because many people are free then. The season usually falls between January and July and then from September to early December. At some point, after test shootings and first jobs, you are close to graduation. That's when the planning starts. If you become a model at 18 or 19 years old, it often happens faster, especially if you are flexible with your time. Preparation. Starting from the first casting. Our preparation begins right from the first casting, where we discuss your plans and ideas. It's important to set the course early. About 2-3 months before your graduation, things become more concrete. Once you decide and say you're in, the real work begins. Conversations. International agencies. Our model manager contacts top international agencies and holds conversations to present you as a talented model. This involves exchanging photos, Polaroids, and walk videos to give them a first impression of you. If there's mutual interest and a potential match, further conversations follow, often in the form of video calls. These video calls are similar to agency castings and include introducing yourself and a short walk to demonstrate your skills. In this video call, you have the opportunity to present yourself confidently and professionally. Show your personality, talk about your experiences and goals, and display your modeling talent with a brief walk. The agency wants to get an authentic impression of you and assess whether you fit into their portfolio and suit their clients. The video call is a crucial opportunity to showcase your best self and convince the agency of your potential. Be well prepared, confident, and showcase your unique abilities to make a lasting impression. Contracts, flight tickets, more. Once all parties involved, your management, the foreign agency, and yourself, are convinced of collaboration, contracts are drafted. These contracts regulate all important details and terms of the partnership. Good agencies cover the costs of flight tickets and accommodation in the respective city. As a model, you will be on site for a minimum of 30 days, ideally even 60 days. In some cases, the stay can last up to 90 days. The exact duration is determined in consultation with the agency and depends on the projects and assignments planned during that time. Covering the costs and having a longer presence on site allows you to fully focus on your work and make the most out of your modeling job. The first day in Paris, Milan Company. Your first day in cities like Paris, Milan, and others begins with a flight. Either someone from the agency will pick you up at the airport, or you'll take a taxi to get to the agency. Upon arrival at the agency, you'll meet the team. They will warmly welcome you and explain everything important about the process and upcoming tasks. It's a great opportunity to get to know the people who will take care of you during your stay. Afterward, you'll be taken to your model apartment, where you'll meet your roommates. Usually, you'll share the apartment with 2 to 4 other models from different countries. It's an exciting opportunity to make new friendships and exchange experiences. The next day, you'll dive right in. You'll start at the model agency, where you'll receive your first casting appointments. The agency will support you in preparing as best as possible and accompany you to the castings. It's an exciting time where you have the opportunity to showcase your skills and secure potential jobs. The first day in a new city as a model is always thrilling and full of possibilities, and you'll start your future experiences with a lot of excitement. Working on location. 30 to 90 days. After your arrival on site, you'll work for a period of 30 to 90 days. During this time, you'll have numerous castings. Ideally, you'll have the chance to take on the first 5 to 10 jobs locally. However, you might even get more jobs, depending on your popularity and the project requirements. The agency will support you at each casting and help you make the most out of your opportunities. It's an intensive period where you can prove your modeling skills and gain valuable experiences. Next. From Paris to Seoul. If things go well for you, you may not only have 1 but 2 or 3 top agencies representing you. This means that you can be active not only in one city but in different countries and markets. Each agency has its own contacts and clients, giving you the opportunity to get the best fees. Your management takes care of organizing and coordinating all details. They manage your schedules, take care of flight tickets, hotel bookings, and other logistical matters. You can rely on them to have everything under control and support you so you can fully concentrate on your work. From Paris to Seoul and beyond, with a strong agency and dedicated management by your side, exciting opportunities await you to establish your modeling career internationally. After 2-3 years. Paris, Milan, London, Paris. After 2 to 3 years as a model, you may have contracts with 4 to 5 top agencies in cities like Paris, Milan, London, and many other fashion hubs. With so many agencies in your portfolio, careful planning begins to make the most out of each year. Since a year has only 12 months, smart scheduling is essential. For example, you could spend the first few months in Milan, followed by Paris in March and April, and then travel to London in May and June. This way, you can continuously work in different locations and seize new opportunities to advance your career. Direct bookings, pro model. After establishing yourself as a model, new doors open for you. Your model book is filled with a variety of international jobs and prestigious clients. Now in the A-list, you benefit from direct bookings that give you the freedom to be booked independently of a specific location. Your work weeks are marked by exciting travels. One day in Barcelona, followed by a job in New York, and then onward to Miami. You might even get the opportunity to work on the dreamy Canary Islands. The diversity of places where you work expands your horizons and allows you to collaborate with different teams and cultures. Direct bookings are a sign of your success and professionalism. Thank you for listening to this chapter of the Model Book. Follow the podcast and embark on a captivating journey into the world of modeling. Hosted by model agency owner Stefan Chaya, this podcast provides aspiring models with comprehensive insights, expert advice, and practical tips to pursue their dreams. Tune in, unlock your full potential, and leave a 5-star review if you find our podcast inspiring. Together, let's make your modeling dreams a reality.